Hey everyone, hope all is well here with you on this beautiful Wednesday in central New York. Another round of virtual baseball from MLB 9 innings 20. Today it's going to be the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Chicago Cubs in the third of a four-game set. I'm Colby Smith, happy to have you along here with me for the afternoon, and it's apt to be another great matchup. It's going to be Brent Sutter taking on Wade Davis today for the Chicago Cubs. The Brewers come in 43 and 41 after their 5-3 victory over Chicago yesterday, which dropped the Cubs to 51 and 35. The Brewers got on the board in the 8th inning yesterday with 4 runs, courtesy of Eric Sogard's 3-run shot, which just so happened to be the decisive blow. The Cubs got a pick-me-up kind of offense from Buster Posey, who hit a 2-run shot in the first inning, and Jose Martinez, who added a 2-run shot, just a solo shot later in the game to, of course, make the score 5-3. But the Cubs are going to be looking to even the score up, rather take advantage of the score here today against the Brewers. They've dropped 3 of their last 5, as you can now see here on your screen. 2-1 to the Yankees on Friday. We'll talk about that game in a minute. They beat the Yankees 6-3 Saturday before losing 4-3 on a late inning home run on Sunday. The Cubs took the opener of this series 3-2 on Monday before losing 5-3 yesterday, of course, as I mentioned, the Eric Sogard 3-run blast. And now, of course, we set up here for the third of the 4-game set against the Brewers, and then the Tampa Bay Rays going to come in here this weekend for 3 games before an off day, 2 games at the White Sox, another off day, and you get it. But so things definitely not going to get any easier for the Chicago Cubs here. There's just a game ahead of the Cincinnati Reds here, as you can now see on your screen. 51 and 35 as opposed to Cincinnati's 50 and 36. St. Louis is third in the NL Central at 47 and 39, 4 back. The Milwaukee Brewers inching up at 43 and 41, just 7 back now. And the Pittsburgh Pirates still under 500 baseball at 39 and 46. But I mentioned the Friday game against the New York Yankees. Wade Davis, in what was set to be a bullpen day for Chicago, threw 3 1/3 innings of one-hit baseball, held the Yankees scoreless in that 2-1 12-inning loss. And now he's going to face Brent Sutter today. Sutter has been a solid pitcher all season long for the Milwaukee Brewers, and considering Juan Soto is making his Cubs debut today, not going to get any easier for Sutter. But now we'll start taking you through the lineups as we get set for first pitch here for the Milwaukee Brewers. Leading off in center field is Lorenzo Cain. Ryan Braun is in right. Christian Yelich Nats. Justin Smoke plays first in the cleanup role. Eric Sogard's at third. Omar Narvaez hits 6 behind the plate. Keston Hiura plays second. Luis Urias hits 8th at short. And Brent Sutter, the pitcher, hits 9th. For Chicago on the defensive side of the ball, as you just saw it on your screen there, left to right in the outfield, going to be Juan Soto, Dexter Fowler, and Cody Bellinger. On the infield from first to third, it's Anthony Rizzo, Jonathan Schoop, Tim Anderson, Chris Bryant. Behind the plate is Wilson Contreras, and on the hill is Wade Davis. Lorenzo Cain going to dig into the box here for the Milwaukee Brewers, and we get started here. Four-seam fastball in for a strike, and now leading 0-1. Davis goes downtown, a chopper towards second. Jonathan Schoop, a high flip towards Rizzo, and Lorenzo Cain able to beat it out. He's safe here. They're going to call that an error on Chicago, as now it's Ryan Braun's turn. Going to go in as an E4 for the throw. A cutter and a strike here to Braun, 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch, hammered out towards left. It falls in here in front of Juan Soto, and just like that, the Brewers have back-to-back base runners to start the game. Christian Yelich hitting .297 here in 2020, 14 home runs, 46 RBIs now with 2 guys on, nobody out, a 0-0 score. Top of the first, trailing 0-1 in the count. Davis goes right down the middle with a pitch here, hacked out towards left field. And Juan Soto's able to find it and track it here and bring it down for the out. 1 down now, and it's Justin Smoke. 7 home runs, 38 RBIs. Smoke looking to improve those power numbers, which have seen a recent decrease in recent years here. 0-1, and a pitch smacked out towards center field here. Going to be played off the wall by Dexter Fowler. 1 run's going to score. A runner turning from third, heading for home here. And just like that, Braun slides in safely, and the Brewers lead 2-0. Eric Sogard gets in here. Justin Smoke, a 2-run RBI double here to give the Brewers a lead against Wade Davis in the first inning here. Now a pitch out towards right field here. Drops in front of Bellinger. Throw towards home here. Is Justin Smoke able to slide in, and Eric Sogard picks up an RBI. The Brewers jump out to an early 3-0 lead here, and there's already bullpen action for Chicago. Omar Narvaez takes a strike on a 4-seam fastball. 0-1 pitch, belt high here from Wade Davis. Out towards right field. Drops in front of Cody Bellinger, and just like that, the Brewers have first and third with just one out here. Keston Hiura now. Brewers already down to 7 in the order with just one out, a 3-0 lead. 2 guys on base here as we're still just in the top of the first inning. It's the 0-1 pitch dropped in from Davis out towards right field. It rolls all the way down into the corner here. Cody Bellinger plays it in the corner, and the runner turns and heads for third here, and Omar Narvaez and the run's able to score, and it's a 4-0 game now for Luis Urias. Milwaukee Brewers jumping on Wade Davis here early. Davis typically a slow starter, but got off to a good start in New York. But this one definitely not a good start here. Flip 5-3, but another run able to score. Luis Urias going to pick up the RBI as Eric Sogard able to score, and now it's Brent Suter's turn here. Keston Hiura standing at second base. The Brewers leading 5-0 here as the pitcher bats in the first inning for the Milwaukee Brewers. The 0-1 pitch popped up to second base here to Jonathan Schoop. And just like that, the Cubs didn't get off to a beauty of a start as they gave up an error to start it. And then 6 hits and 5 runs came in between. They lead 5-0 as we start the bottom of the first here. Dexter Fowler leads it off with a liner out towards center field here. And it's going to be caught by Lorenzo Cain. For the Cubs, the rest of the way down the order, batting second behind the plate is Wilson Contreras. Tim Anderson plays short. Juan Soto, the cleanup guys, in left. Chris Bryant's at third. Jonathan Schoop hits 6th at second. Anthony Rizzo plays first. Wade Davis, the pitcher, hits 8th. And Cody Bellinger in right field hitting 9th. The Brewers on the defensive side of the ball. Pitcher is Brent Suter. His battery mate Omar Narvaez behind the plate. And on the infield from third to first, Eric Sogard, Luis Urias, Keston Hiura at second, and Smokes at first. Center field is Lorenzo Cain. Left field, Christian Yelich. And in right field is Ryan Braun. Wilson Contreras steps in here, 1 out, and the Cubs quickly trailing 5-0 in this ball game, and he fouls one off. Dexter Fowler lined the first pitch he saw out to center field here, and now Contreras being patient and smacking the 0-1 in front of Christian Yelich here. Cubs got a base runner here with just 1 out, and now it's Tim Anderson. 1 home run, 1 RBI, 1 run scored on a 3-game hitting streak. Hasn't played in a few days. Here's the southpaw. Cracks one in here. It's bound towards short. Luis Urias to Keston Hiura. Throwback to first here, and it's picked by Justin Smoke to end the frame. Cubs leave the bases empty. They pick up a hit, and the Brewers got 6, and it's a 5-0 Milwaukee Brewers lead as we start the second, and it's the top of the order. Lorenzo Cain here leads it off for the Milwaukee Brewers, and he smashed one out to the right center gap here as he's on with nobody out. Ryan Braun digs in now, hitting .325. He reached his first time up, and now on his second time, he's going to pop one out towards right field here. Bellinger tracking it for the out. 1 down, and now it's Christian Yelich's turn. Yelich knocked one in his first time up, and now he takes a 4-seam fastball for a strike. 0-1 pitch, belt high, towards second base here. Scope the throw to second, throw back to first here, and both guys are safe. Christian Yelich reaching on an infield single, and it's Justin Smoke's turn now. Runners at first and second, 1 out. The Brewers leading 5-0 after they put up a 5 spot on Davis in the top of the first inning. Cubs went down with just 1 hit in the bottom of the frame. Rizzo the flip to second. Anderson the throwback to first, and Smoke safe there. Lorenzo Cain reaching third on the play, and there's 2 outs now. Runners at first and third as Davis drops in a knuckle curve for a strike to Sogard. 0-1, pop towards Bryant, throw to Schoop to snag out Smoke. 5-4, at second, and the Brewers leave a pair on base. 8 hits to the Cubs, 1. The Cubs with an error, and the Brewers have a 5-0 lead here as Juan Soto leads it off in the second. Brent Suter on the hill here for the Milwaukee Brewers, working diligently as he sent the Cubs down quietly in the first inning with just a single hit. And now Juan Soto a smack over the head of the diving shortstop here in Urias. Juan Soto reaches with a single to lead off the second here for Chicago as Bryant digs in. 3 home runs, 13 RBIs for the Chicago third baseman as Juan Soto stands at first here. A ball taken up and away here on a curve from Chris Bryant, and now the 1-0 pitch to kick in the fire from Suter, and it's foul, tipped away here. The count even at 1. Soto stands at first. Cubs trailing 5-0 as Bryant taps it past the diving first baseman and throw The throw from Kira over to Sutter, not in time, and Chris Bryant able to reach on an infield single himself. First and second here now with nobody out for Jonathan Schoop. Schoop's match one past second into center field here. It rolls to Lorenzo Cain. Cutoff throw into Hira, but a run's able to score here for Chicago, and just like that, it's a 5-1 ball game. Cubs cutting the deficit to 4. Jonathan Schoop picks up the RBI. Bryant attacking Schoop at first here, and it's Rizzo's turn now. And he's going to knock one in here. It's going to be 5-2, and just like that, it's first and third with still nobody out, and the deficit cut by Chicago to just 3 as Wade Davis steps in here. Wade Davis now going to get the pull plugged on him here early, so it's going to be a long bullpen day for Chicago here as they look to come back in this one. Christian Yelich is going to come off the bench and make his Cubs debut, looking to get the offense rolling here. A ball taken up and away, and it's 1-0. Schoop at third, Rizzo at first. 5-2 our score here from virtual Wrigley Field, bottom of the second inning. Colby Smith here with you as the 1-1 pitch fouled off by Yelich. Yelich wearing number 21 here in a Cubs uniform as Sutter turns and throws, trying to get Rizzo diving back in there. 1-2 pitch in, and Yelich going to be struck out here. So Wade Davis, the book closed on him after 2 innings. We'll get to that in a minute as Cody Bellinger digs in here. 1 out, first and third here, and a changeup down the middle. Bellinger came around, and it's 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, a changeup inside and tight, and Bellinger tracked and missed it once again. It's quickly 0-2 here as Bellinger pops one towards Keston here at second. Throw going to come to the plate here, and Navarez lays it down to Schoop, and just like that, it's going to be first and second with 2 outs now for Dexter Fowler. 5-2 our score here as Dexter Fowler crushes a long ball out towards center field. This one's going to be played off the wall here. It's going to knock in at least one here. Keston here, the throw going to go into third, and just like that, Bellinger dives in head first. Another run going to come to Chicago, and the deficit back to 2 as Contreras digs in. Contreras, the one who ended the first inning, ended the first inning. He was the one who got forced out at second in the double play to end the first here. He crushes the 5-3 pitch out towards right center field here. This one's going to be played off the wall. 1 run's going to score, and maybe 2. Contreras chugs into second. The no throw going to go to the plate. Just like that, it's a tie ball game at 5-5. A 5-run spot here in the bottom of the second for Chicago. Boy, could this turn out to be a good one. Contreras standing at second, 2 outs. It's a 5-5 ball game, and Tim Anderson a chopper towards first. Smoke takes it unassisted to the bag himself. The inning is over, but the Cubs pick up 7 hits and 5 runs and knock the ball game up at 5 as we start the third. Christian Yelich in the face Omar Narvaez here after pinch hitting in the bottom of the second inning. Yelich going to fire in a 4-seam fastball. All he can throw is the 0-1 pitch in here, and it's popped up by Narvaez foul. 0-2 here. Position player pitching in a tie game, interestingly enough, for manager David Ross. Anderson in the hole over to Rizzo across the diamond in time here, and there's 1 out now for Hira. Hira knocked in 1 on an RBI single his first time up, facing Christian Yelich here with 1 out. Bounces 1 towards short. Tim Anderson with a knife of a throw over to Rizzo here, and there's 2 outs quickly for Yelich. Now Luis Urias, the shortstop, digs in here. He knocked in 1 his first time up as well. Chopper towards second, past the diving Rizzo. Jonathan Schoop, nobody covering the first base bag, so Luis Urias is going to reach on an infield single here. And miscommunication by Chicago as now Brent Sutter steps up and flies one out towards center field here. Fowler finds it for the out. The Brewers leave a runner on base, and it's 4-5-6 for Chicago up here in the bottom of the third in a 5-5 ball game. It's Juan Soto started to rally in the second to lead it off here, and now he's going to start something here again in the third as he singles to lead off the frame. Brent Sutter now going to get the pole plugged, and it's going to be Ray Black, who's already pitched twice in this series, twice in 2 games, and now make that 3 in 3 games. 4 wins, 4 losses, 9 holds, and a save here in 2020, a .537 earned run average, but he's held the Cubs scoreless the first 2 days of this series. Pitch high and away here, and it's a ball. The 1-0 pitch now in tight, but it registers in the strike zone, and now it's a 1-1 count here. Soto standing at first, a 5-5 ball game. Chris Bryant at the plate, Ray Black on the hill. Ray Black leading 1-2 in the count here, and Bryant tips it away, foul, and we'll do it again. 1-2, kick and fire in tight, and Bryant comes around here, and Brewers pitching going to pick up their first strikeout of the game. Jonathan Schoop on a 9-game hitting streak already extended that in this ball game with a single his first time up. Knocked in a run for that matter, and it's in a 5-5 ball game here. Gotta give kudos to Schoop. 0-2. Soto standing at first, a 5-5 game, bottom of the 5th, and now Ray Black gonna pick up back-to-back Ks here. Rizzo knocked in one his first time up. He's on a 5-game hitting streak. Soto in his Cubs debut standing at first. He's 2 for 2 with a set of singles here. His Rizzo leading in the count now 1-0. Going to take a strike on a slider here. Rizzo being diligently and patient here at the plate this inning here as the 1-1 now smoked into the corner out in left field here. It drops in. Rizzo going to turn, head for second here. Will he be out? Yes, he will. Going to go in 7-4. Anthony Rizzo put out at second, getting greedy. The Cubs leave another guy on. They got 10 hits. The Brewers have 9, and it's a 5-5 game as we start the fourth. It's Lorenzo Cain to lead it off as the Brewers send the top of the order to the dish here. Fly out towards center field here. Dexter Fowler traps it and brings it down for the out. And now it's Ryan Braun's turn. Braun 0 for 2 in this ball game already. A fly out and a ground out here, but it looks like that's going to change. He crushes one just inside the foul pole, and the Brewers take a 6-5 lead here on the solo shot. Braun 16th of the year, and now it's Christian Yelich up at the plate. It's a Yelich matchup. Pitcher and hitter at the plate here. Four-seam fastball in for a strike. 2 Yelich from Yelich, and now the 0-1 high and tight. Poked out towards right field here. Falls in front of Cody Bellinger, and the Brewers have a base runner with 1 out. Already brought 1 home in the inning, and it's Justin Smoke who knocked in 2 his first time up. He's going to be yanked out of the ball game now, and it's going to be John Lester coming in for Chicago. 1 win, 2 losses, a hold and a save. He's retired 11 in a row, and his last 2 appearances here is now Justin Smoke takes a 4-seam fastball for a strike from the veteran southpaw. The 0-1 popped up towards right. Cody Bellinger able to find it for the out, and there's 2 down now for Eric Sogard. Sogard already with an RBI himself in this ball game here as he smokes one right up through the hole in the middle here, and the Brewers have runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the fourth. Brewers already with a run home in the inning here. Ryan Braun a solo home run just inside the foul pole as Rizzo flips to Tim Anderson. Going to go 1-6 in a fielder's choice here. 12 hits for the Brewers, 10 for Chicago, and it's a 6-5 Brewers lead as we start the bottom of the fourth. Lester with a ground out here, going to go in 5-3. Sogard to Smoke if you're scoring at home, and now it's Cody Bellinger in the 9-hole. 1 for 1 with a single already in this ball game. The Cubs trailing by a single run after falling down 5-0 early in this one, and now it's 6-5 here as the Cubs bat in the bottom of the fourth. A slider and Bellinger tracked, and now it's 1-1 with 1 out here. Lots of ones and a 4-seam fastball. Bellinger came around and is quickly 1-2 here. 1-2 pitch, and Bellinger came around. He's sent down on strikes. 2 down, and it's Dexter Fowler's turn. Fowler already knocking in 1 in the ball game. He's 1 for 2 with a strikeout as well, and now he bounces one towards short. Quickly going to be retired 6-3 at first, and that ends the fourth. Going to be 7-8-9 combining for 2-4-4 on the ball game here as Keston Hiura already with an RBI on the day digs in. 6-5 the Brewers lead here as we get started here in the 5th inning. Happy to have you along here for the ride. Colby Smith along here with you once again here as Dexter Fowler playing this ball out in center field here. It's going to be an F8 as Luis Urias digs in now. 1 out, and it's a curveball in for a strike. As I said, 1 more game left in this set tomorrow here at Wrigley Field in this 4-game series. Split the first 2 games of the series these 2 teams did now, and whoever takes this one today definitely going to be looking to win tomorrow as well. Cutter in there for a strike, and it's quickly 0-1 here with a runner at first. Another curveball from Lester, and now the 0-2 pitch, and it's fouled off here by Ray Black once again. The Brewers pitcher at the dish here, and now a slight grounder towards second. Jonathan Schoop in, and he knifes it over to Rizzo in time here for the second out as the runner, and Urias advances. Lorenzo Cain up at the dish here now, 4-seam fastball for a strike, and a 0-1 from Lester. Out towards center field here, it drops in front of Dexter Fowler. Ray Black going to hold up at third here, and it's first and third here with 1 out. Urias going to hold up at third, my bad. 4-seam fastball in there for a strike, and now the 0-1 pitch. Out towards left field here, coming in and playing it, going to be Juan Soto in his Cubs debut to end it. We're halfway home in the ball game as the Brewers strand a pair. They got 14 hits, the Cubs got 10, and it's a 6-5 game here as Wilson Contreras starts it off in the bottom of the 5th. He foul tips one back here for Chicago. We're moving right along in this one despite the 2 5-run innings we've had, plus the solo home run in the top of the 4th inning from Ryan Braun, which is the difference maker so far. Contreras goes down on strikes, and now the former Chicago Cubs 3-1 mark in 52 and 2/3 innings here in 2020 going to come in to face his former son. Pitch now hammered by Tim Anderson out towards deep center field. This one's gone. Home run number 2 of 2024. Tim Anderson knotting the ball game back up. It sits here with 1 out, and now it's Juan Soto. David Phelps not greeted kindly here. 1 pitch and 1 run on the board here. Now Juan Soto in the left field. Three pitches he's seen, 3 hits he's had, 3 singles to left he's given. Juan Soto delivered here today for Chicago, as now it's Chris Bryant's turn. Bryant comes around on a slider, and he trails 0-1 here. Phelps and Bryant were fairly close when these two played on the club, so Bryant should know his tendencies just a bit here as the 0-2 pitch in, and it's bounced towards third. Sogard to Hira, bat to Smoke here. Going to go in 5-4-3, but the Cubs knotted up with a Tim Anderson solo home run, and John Lester trots back to the hill in a 6-6 ball game as we start the 6th. The curveball dropped in for a strike to Christian Yelich here, and now they're 0-1 pitch right down the middle towards third. Chris Bryant in on the grass, bounces it, and Rizzo plays it off the 1 hop, but he's able to pick it up in time, and now it's Smoke's turn with 1 down here to start the 6th. A 6-6 ball game, gotta love it. This one turning in, going to be an offensive duel here today, or an offensive slugfest, however you like to call it. It seems the 0-2 pitch right down the middle here, and it's hammered out towards right field here, and it's going to drop into the seats once again. 7-6, the Milwaukee Brewers lead this ball game. Home run, Justin Smoke, and now it's Eric Sogard's turn. 1 out here in a 4-seam fastball right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 once again here. Out towards second base. Jonathan Schoop with the flip over to Anthony Rizzo in time. 2 outs, and it's Omar Narvaez. Narvaez a 3.05 average here in 2020. The Brewers now back on top by a run in this ball game in the 0-1 pitch out towards center. Fly out, going to be F8 once again to Dexter Fowler in center. 15 hits for the Brewers, 12 for Chicago, and it's a 7-6 game as we start the bottom of the 6th. Jonathan Schoop leads it off here for Chicago, and he smashed one deep out towards left. Going to fall to the wall here, not quite enough to get out of the park, and Schoop's going to chug in the second here with a double. Anthony Rizzo 2 for 2, a pair of singles in this ball game, and RBI to his name as well. Looking to make that 2 and knock the game back up here at 7-6. The Brewers just not seeming to let up in this one as the 0-1 pitch popped out towards Sogard. The flip over to Smoke across the diamond in time here, and there's 1 out now for John Lester. Lester hitting 133, already 0 for 1 with a grounder in this ball game, and it looks like there's going to be a second. Going to be 3-1 put away at first. Smoke to Phelps if you're scoring at home here. Lester sent down, and it's Bellinger's turn. Bellinger 5-game hit streak, and Schoop standing at second here, and Bellinger now with a smack out towards left here. Falls in, and Jonathan Schoop turning from third, heading for home, and just like that, Bellinger's able to pick up the game-tying RBI at 7-7. Dexter Fowler already with an RBI on the day himself here, as he's going to take a ball up and away here at changeup. Cody Bellinger standing at first. Dexter Fowler now looking to give the Cubs a lead in this ball game as he leads 2-0 in the count after this year in front of David Phelps. Played on a team with Phelps himself way back in 15 and 16 here as Fowler fouls 1 off. 2-1 now, and David Phelps right down the middle. Fowler with a deep shot out towards right center field here, and it's played and brought down here by Lorenzo Cain, and that ends the frame. The Cubs leave another guy on base. 15 hits for the Brewers, 14 for Chicago, and it's a 1-1 game as we start the 7th here in just a moment. We start the 7th bank up here. It's Keston Hira hit the plate for the Milwaukee Brewers to lead it off, and he bounces one towards short. Tim Anderson across the diamond in time to Rizzo, and there's 1 out now for Luis Urias, who's 2 for 3. A ground out and a pair of singles respectively. 1 out and a 4-seam fastball dropped in there from Lester for a strike. The 0-1 pitch right down the middle, popped towards second. Jonathan Schoop fields to his left in time over to Rizzo here, and there's 2 outs now for David Phelps. Phelps hitting .368 on the campaign, 2 RBIs with a run scored, 7 hits, so he's not too bad with a bat in his hands. 2 down, and the curve fired in from Lester for a strike yet again. 0-1 here, and it's bounced out towards right center field here. It drops in to the right of Cody Bellinger. He fields and fires into Tim Anderson in time here, and there's a runner on base now for Lorenzo Cain. Runner at first, 2 outs, and a four-seam fastball in there from Lester for a strike. And now the 0-1 pitch out towards left field here. Drops in front of Juan Soto. And the Brewers have back-to-back guys on here, first and second now for Ryan Braun. Braun with a solo home run and a single in this ball game, a fly out and a ground out. He's 2 for 4. And now out towards right field here. This one falls into the corner, and he gives the Brewers a lead here yet again, 8-7. And they got guys at the corners with 2 outs. Christian Yelich 2 for 4, a pair of singles himself with a set of grounders, and now a strike dropped in on a slider here from Lester. The 0-1 pitch here, hacked out towards deep center field here. Dexter Fowler going to play it off the one hop of the wall. 9-7, could be 10. Runner going to slide into home here yet again, and just like that, it's 10-7 Brewers score. An offensive slugfest, this one going to go in as we're in the 7th inning, and it's already a 10-7 game. A curve in from Smoke here, and it's 0-1. And now out towards right field here. This one rolls into the corner. It's going to be 11-7 Milwaukee Brewers now. Eric Sogard 2 for 4, a pair of hits and a pair of grounders. Both of them singles. The Brewers already with a 4 spot in the inning. Lester just looking to finish up the frame and then get out of the game here, as it's going to go a shallow fly out to Dexter Fowler here. 20 hits for the Brewers, 14 hits for Chicago, and it's an 11-7 score here as we start the 7th. Phelps remains in the game, and Wilson Contreras starts it off for Chicago here. 2, 3, and 4 go the Cubs, and the 0-1 pitch now out towards left center field here. This one going to fall in, more than likely, yes indeed, into the glove of left fielder Christian Yelich. Sorry, a little distracted, taking care of something in the background here. Tim Anderson going to take a ball on a change, and it's 1-0. Now David Phelps right down the middle here, and Tim Anderson smokes it out to the gap in the wall here in left center field. Tim Anderson running around first, going to chug into second here, and he's standing up with a double here for now, and it's Juan Soto's turn. Soto 3 for 3 with a run scored here in a Chicago Cubs jersey. All 3 singles, all 3 to left field here, is now it's 1-0. David Phelps taking his time, delivering in a 2-seam fastball as the count now evened up at 1 with 1 out here, right down the middle, and now Juan Soto out towards center field here, and this one going to roll back and drop in here as Lorenzo Cain finds it in the pocket for the out. 2 down, and it's Chris Bryant's turn. New pitcher in, going to be Anthony Claudio. And it's a slider up and tight here, and Bryant comes around for a strike, and it trails 0-1 yet again. A slider down and away here, and it's 0-2. Tim Anderson standing at second. The Cubs trailing by 4 here as Bryant fouls it off. 0-2 yet again. Kick and fire in, and it's fouled off here by Bryant. Bryant hanging tough. We do the 0-2 yet again right down the middle here, and he's going to be sent down on strikes. Claudio picks up the K, and now John Lester going to be yanked out of the ball game here by first-tier manager David Ross. Adam Wainwright going to come in for Chicago here. 312 average, 0-1 with 2 saves and 8 2/3 innings pitched. Retired 7 in a row dating back to his last appearance against the Yankees over the weekend here. First pitch popped up by Navarez right into the glove of Contreras behind the plate, and there's 1 out now for Keston Hiura. Hero with 1 out. Wainwright fires in a 4-seam fastball for a strike, and it's 0-1 here. Bounce towards third. Chris Bryant over across the diamond in time to Rizzo here, and there's 2 outs now for Luis Urias. Urias with 2 singles and two grounders already in this ball game. Bounce in front of Dexter Fowler here, and there's a runner at first here. 2 outs. Claudio at the dish here once again, and it rolls in front of Juan Soto yet again here. And there's now runners at first and second for Lorenzo Cain. 2 down, and the Brewers still leading by 4 in this ball game. Things aren't looking too bright for Chicago here unless they can get it rolling. Going to go in as a 3-1 put away at Cain at first here. 22 hits for the Brewers, 15 for Chicago, and it's an 11-7 score as we start the bottom of the 8th. Jonathan Schoop leads it off here for Chicago, and he crushes the first pitch he sees out towards deep left here, retreating back and finding it. Going to be Christian Yelich, and there's 1 out now for Anthony Rizzo. Rizzo with a pair of singles and an RBI already in this ballgame. Claudio with that crazy hip shake he does out on the mound here, and it's 0-1. Rizzo trailing 0-1 in the count, and it's a 4-seam fastball fired in for a strike. Quickly 0-2 here, and now in a ball down and away on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. Claudio now fires one in, and Rizzo comes around, and Claudio able to pick up another strikeout. Anthony Claudio rolling down these Cubs hitters here. Not surprised if you'd finish this one off in a 90% stamina, as you can see down in your left corner here. 0-1 on Wainwright here, as now Wainwright fouls one off. 0-2, the payoff pitch going to come in here from Claudio, and down and in, it's tapped towards third. Eric Sogard in on the grass across the diamond in time here to Justin Smoke to retire the side. One error for both teams, 22 hits for the Brewers, 15 for Chicago, and it's an 11-7 Brewers lead as we start the ninth. It's Ryan Braun to lead it off for the Brewers, and the follow will be Yelich and Smoke here as it's a first pitch strike here. Now the 0-1 going to be hit out towards right field here, and not even having to move a muscle, going to be Cody Bellinger, and there's one out now for Christian Yelich. Yelich with 2 RBIs in this ballgame. The Milwaukee Brewers leading by 4 in the top of the ninth in this MLB 9-inning 20 matchup. Gotta give the Cubs kudos, even though they've lost 3 of their last 5, they've put up a 7 spot in this game, which is something they haven't done in 2 weeks or so. 2 outs now, and it's Smoke's turn. Wainwright should have brought him in sooner almost, you gotta think here. He's rolling him down quickly here, as now the 0-1 powered down the middle, chopped towards third. Chris Bryant over to Anthony Rizzo in time here to retire the side. We head to the bottom of the ninth. It's going to be the last hope at bat for Chicago. It's 9-1-2 here as the Brewers leading 11-7. We started off. Cody Bellinger towards third to Eric Sogard across the diamond in time to Smoke here, and there's one out now for Dexter Fowler. Fowler has an RBI in this ball game already. The Cubs down to their last hopes here. Only 2 outs and a 4-seam fastball in for a strike. 0-1 here, and Claudio shakes around and deals yet again a changeup, and Fowler trails 0-2. Claudio right down the middle, and Dexter Fowler, a deep shot out towards the corner in left field here. It's going to roll back in a little bit more here, so Fowler going to chug into second base here with a double with 1 out. Wilson Contreras, 2 RBIs in the game. The Cubs aren't dead yet. Wilson Contreras can somehow find a home run here. The Cubs would be down by just 2, or at least knock 1 in and bring it to 3. A sinker and a strike here for Contreras. He's got it choked up, trailing 0-2 now. Outside and away here, and Contreras goes down on strikes. There's 2 outs, and the Cubs now down to the last chance here. Anderson already with an RBI and a double in this game. The RBI coming courtesy of a solo home run. So a run as well here as the slider up and away here, and Anderson trailing 0-1. 0-1 and a turn. Claudio back to second here to Hira. Fowler dives 0-1 now, crushed by Anderson out towards left field here. This one's going to fall into the seats. The Cubs back within 2. It's an 11-9 game, and Claudio out now, and Josh Hader in. Juan Soto 3 for 4 on the game, going to come in here. So gonna give Anderson kudos, 2 home runs in the game. The Cubs now trailing by 2. Juan Soto trailing 0-1 here in the count, and he's gonna send one out into right field here, going the opposite way. He's on base, and now the Cubs tying run gonna be at the plate here, and Chris Bryant 1 for 4. Juan Soto standing at first. Josh Hader on the hill here. A ball up and away taken by Bryant here, and it's 1-0 in the count. The 1-0 pitch, same spot, same location, same pitch. It's a cutter, and it's quickly 2-0 on Bryant here. The 2-0 in there, 2-seam fastball for a strike, and now it's 2-1. Hader takes a sweet time.